You see, like my cousin, the Honorable Noble Moses. How did he get these words right away to come out of his mouth? It's from God that he spoke to talk to Moses, to Pharaoh. And before that, our Honorable Noble Father Abraham, when he was before the king, and the king told him, uh, who is your God? You talk to people, you propagate, you say, my God, and my God, don't worship these idols, don't worship these statues, worship God. Who's your God? He said, my God is the one who gives life and causes death. The king said, I give life and I cause death. Why? The thing in his mentality that he could bring me, somebody like me, Saad, Nawaz, you are sentenced to death, crucified, sentenced to crucifixion, death by crucifixion. So now I'm dead. So he gave me death. So now he wants to give me life. Okay, pardon, go free. So he gave me life and gave me death. That's the mentality of those arrogant people in power. And we are going to see this arrogance leads into destruction. Then Abraham said, this guy, he does not know what I am talking about. How did he come up with these words? God's words came through him. Inspiration, revelation. The right words came out of my father's Abraham's mouth. He said, well, Allah raises the sun from the east and sets it in the west. So in a way, if you think that you are God, or you are like God, or you are God, you say that you are God, then raise the sun from the west. Then the king was defeated in front of the public. It was public hearing. Public hearing. That was the Pharaoh. Gives you public hearing. Today in the USA, no public hearing. No hearing. Nothing. Crucifixion. Crucifixion. You know what they do? You know when that judge, Kathy Block, when she had the plan to Richmond me, you know what's the meaning of Richmond? Somebody, you kill him in court and you plead. Oh, it was stupid. It was a mistake. That's called Richmond. When they jumped on that 14 sheriff deputies jumped on Mr. Richmond and killed him in court. He emptied his bowel and bladder and they killed him. They plead what? Now it became the law. They kill you in court and they plead what? Richmond. Richmond versus Sheehan. Because the mother of that poor, old, disabled man was in court and she saw what happened to her son and 4 sheriff deputies were holding her on top of her. And the boy died. Old man. He's a boy, he's a child in his mother's eyes. Does not matter how old you are, in your mother's eyes you are a child. So her child, they killed her child in front of her. So they killed in court. So that's what they were planning to kill me. That's why they were planning to kill me, the way they like the rich man. When she stood up and screamed at me, get out of my courtroom! So put yourself in my position. What would I say then? See? It's by God's help. I said to her, thank you, Your Honor. And I left. God saved me with these words. You see? So, Jesus, my honorable noble cousin Jesus, He says, when they take you to court and to crucify, to persecute you and take you to court, don't worry about what you are going to say. God is going to tell you what to say. And what I'm telling you now, I didn't write it down. Don't think about it. Just saying it. And in court, see these words comes out. It's God's will. This is our life. And God has plans for us, for each one of us. So we are either on the good part of the plan or the bad part of the plan. We choose or which part we want to be, on which side we want to be. So here we have my cousins afflicted by Pharaoh. So they had no immunity of the arbitrary authority of Pharaoh. So they had no liberty. So what they had to do? God saved them. By what? Migration. They migrated by His help. They migrated. They did not go boom. No. Migration. God saved them. Why? Why they were into this affliction? They themselves, they were arrogant. They had power, and that power made them be arrogant, and they paid for it. How? You remember? My uncle Jacob, the Honorable Noble Jacob, he had 4 wives, had 12 children, and 10 from 3 wives, and 2 from 1 wife. That's 4 wives. So according to the Quran, he had 4 wives. Just he applied the Quran, what Allah says in the Quran, up to 4 wives. So he married to 4 wives. So the 10 brothers, they said, we are strong. We are a group. Usba. We have might. So what they did, this might made them be arrogant. Against whom? Their own little beloved brother, Joseph. So they wanted to kill him. And they said, no, we don't want to kill him. One of them said, no, we don't want our brother's blood on our hand, no. Just sell him into slavery. So they sold him into slavery. That's arrogance that got from the power they had over their brother, Joseph. A beautiful, handsome, young brother. He was about 12 years old. They sold him into slavery. And then God made them be slaves for 400 years. Remember, God says in the Bible that the punishment on the parents and their children for 4 generations. 4 generations. 400 years. So after 400 years, they paid the penalty. So now is the time for them to get out of that concentration camp, of that place of affliction under Pharaoh. So it's the time for me to get out of USA, to have my liberty. God gave them liberty, got them out of Egypt. My cousin, they paid penalty, so the time to get out. That's good to see for them. They passed. And his arrogance, Pharaoh, didn't stop there. He went after them, and God put the sea back on him and killed him. So his might led him into arrogance, and his arrogance led him into destruction. So this was going on with the USA, and with still my cousins, the Israelis. They are not innocent, no. They have might, and their might is leading them to arrogance, and this arrogance is going to lead them into destruction. As we said that Jesus says in the Bible. We'll come to that if there's time.